First and Second Thessalonians apocalyptic language comes not just from the Old Testament, but in particular, the Olivet Discourse. As you can see here, and by all means, if you need to, hit pause, screenshot this, cross-reference every one of them as much as you feel you need, is that the description from Matthew 24 and 1 Thessalonians 4 through 5 perfectly align to one another. The only section not discussed in 1 Thessalonians 4 was the abomination of desolation and the Antichrist, to which Paul said, "Don't you remember I told you these things in person?" Which makes sense as why he added those particular things in his second letter to the Thessalonians. And as we know, those things occur at the midpoint of the 70th week. Then all of those details with Jesus' return come after, including the rapture of 1 Thessalonians 4:17. Look at Jesus' own word on the sequence. Matthew 24:15 says, "When you see the abomination of desolation standing in the holy place, then great tribulation starts." Verse 29 then says, "Immediately after the tribulation of those days." After. Verse 30 through 31. "And then shall the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. And they shall see the Son of Man coming, parousia, in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other." I'm sorry, pre/mid-trib people, please tell me where there's one point of difference between what Jesus said and what Paul said. You have to be textually honest here. There are none. It actually could not be any more identical, other than if it were possible for Paul to simply have voice recorded Jesus and repeated it out verbatim in his letter.